Fine on the Inside was curated to switch the narrative, to show that it's never too late to shift your mindset, heal your heart, and live the life that you truly desire. Sis, you are magic. You just haven't discovered it yet. But in order to get to the goal, you have to do a little bit of digging, getting through all the hard stuff to allow your true self to shine. Because yes, you are beautiful. But how is your soul really feeling? Are you fine on the inside? Hey guys, welcome back to Fine on the Inside. Thanks for tuning in again for another week of listening to me talk. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate y'all. I'm so happy that y'all are tuned back in. I hope everybody's feeling good today. I'm feeling pretty good. I just been messing around with my setup. I got this cute new light, y'all. I can't wait to put it up. I can't wait to set up my, set up a little better, but I'm trying to figure out where I want my setup to be at because the location that it's in right now, I feel like it's not really like suitable for guests. Like it's not like big enough for guests. And I'm just trying to play around with things to figure out like where I want everything. So it's a lot of trial and errors, just me over here. This is the team. Me and me. But yeah, eventually I do want to get a team. And I want to bring guests on. If you want to be a guest on the show, please hit me up. Please DM me. Please email me. I want to talk to people about, self-development, mental health, healing. I want to get in with entrepreneurs, business people, people who, just work 9 to 5s. I want to get in with everybody. Everybody has a journey. Everybody's journey is different. So I just want to hear your story, pick your brains a little bit and, get some different perspective from other people. Like, yeah, I'm showing y'all my perspective, but it's really like a fresh intake to hear what other people have to say and to pick each other's brains. So if you are interested in being a guest, please hit me up. I would love to have y'all on my show. I can't wait to get in with some of y'all. I already got like a couple people in mind. I be seeing y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all really inspire me. A lot of y'all inspire me. Like, I'm not afraid to say, like, there's so many people on here that I can give their flowers right now. And so I'm going to be hitting y'all up too. So watch out for that. And if you want to be on the pod, please hit me up. But yeah, so I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing pretty good right now. Life is going pretty good. My kids are good. I'm good. Um, yeah. I got like a little bit of life stuff going on. Family stuff. Right now, my mom's actually sick with lung cancer, but we are staying optimistic. Shout out to her because I can only imagine like what's going on through her head and you know, what she might be dealing with. Like I'm not going through that, you know what I mean? Like I'm with her, but you know what I mean? Like to actually experience it for yourself, I'm sure it's scary and it's scary for me, so I know it's scary for her, but we're trying to be optimistic and positive and God got her, you know what I mean? She's a believer and my mom is strong as shit. Like she been through a lot, so I feel like she gonna get through this and I feel positive and I just gotta give her flowers because like she's a hell of a grandma. Like she really like rocks out for me and she helps me a lot like with my kids. And so to see her doing like stuff for my kids, it really just like makes me love her more. So it's really like it's nice and it makes me feel like more love towards her. But yeah, so like we're going through that right now, but we're optimistic. God is going to carry her through her treatments. She's going to come out on top. And, you know, I feel like everything is for a reason. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is for this, for her to have lung cancer, but I know it's for a bigger purpose. Everything is for a bigger reason. Sometimes it's hard to say that though. When it's like, trying to tell somebody like be positive, this for a bigger reason, when it's like this is a sickness, you know what I mean? Like sometimes people don't want to hear that shit. And I know that. Like, I'm always the one that's like, oh, we got to be positive. We got to be positive. But we really do have to be positive. Like, what we think of will come true. So I believe if she just stays, you know, grounded, I feel like if she just keeps her faith in God and keeps her faith that she is going to be able to fight this, that she will fight this and she will, you know, beat this. So I'm feeling super grateful, super positive, and yeah, like we got this. So yeah, but yeah. So besides that, things are going pretty good. Things are going pretty stable. Lately I've been, you know, just trying to get this pod together. This is like something that I really take seriously, but lately I've been so busy, but I'm still staying consistent. Even if I'm dropping the pod the day of I'm recording, I'm editing. Like I told y'all, I'm the team. You know what I mean? And shout out to anybody who does this. Like I've worked with people who I've seen like that do podcasts, and you know they do a lot of the editing and all that. So you know, shout out to anybody in like a creative space, anybody who's a creator, anybody who has to take time from your regular schedule to work on whatever your project is. Shout out to y'all. It's not easy, but it's so worth it. You know what I mean? Like dedicating the time to work towards like what you actually want to do, your dreams, your goals. Like yeah, like this shit might not be easy, but it's rewarding to me because it's like this is what I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to talk to people. I've been wanting to, you know, help people. I want to help heal people. Some people just ate and been exposed to greater. Some people only been in the same environment, same situation their whole lives. They don't know that there's more out there, or they're so shut off, they're so scared that they don't know how to make the switch. They don't know how to live a life of abundance because they only been in a negative state. They only been in a toxic mindset. They only, you know, ever knew a place of lack. So that is, you know, where they stay. But I want to just show people like it's possible. Like I used to be sad as hell. I used to deal with anxiety bad, and it's crazy because I like I'm almost, it's been a year since I had like a hospitalization. Like I really used to have anxiety bad, bro. Like real bad. To the point where it's like I was going to the hospital. I'm thinking like, am I having a stroke? Am I, you know, have some type of health condition going on? And anxiety just had me down bad. And I realized, you know, like it's been almost a year since I had like a hospital visit. It was just because like I I wasn't aligned with myself. And it sounds like so like, you know, like what do you mean you weren't aligned with yourself? Like pretty much I feel like when my anxiety first started, well, first off, I just want to say like our upbringing, everything always connects, you know what I mean? And I feel like I always had like this fight or flight, but I was always like some fight, but mostly like flight, like my, oh no, freeze. I like there's a few, I don't know all the ones, but it's like fight, flight, or freeze, and I'm like a free I'm a freezer. But so pretty much just like growing up, I feel like I've been in a lot of traumatic situations that kind of like build up to me being an adult. Like seeing my mom and dad like go through like an abusive relationship, and you know, just seeing them go through that, and then just seeing just like a lot of toxic shit throughout my childhood. And then like it's just like a lot of things just kind of like trickled up to adulthood, and it kind of like triggered like my fight or flight, and then you know caused me to eventually, like once I got older, go into like freeze mode. Like I don't think my anxiety really hit me until I became like an adult, and after my divorce, and I was with I'm like with my kids by myself. So it's like, before I always had like my ex to like fall back on. It's like, I felt like a security blanket, because it's like, I know if I can't do something, he'll be able to pick up the slack, or he knows more than me, or you know what I mean. Like, I just felt like that security, and like, if I can't do something, or if I'm not capable, he'll be able to do it, whatever. So once I got into like the single mom mode, and once I got into, just living life actually by myself, things started to kind of switch for me. It was like, I really went into like survival, because it was like, all right, it's just me. I have to figure out how I'm going to do this, this, and this. And at first, it wasn't too bad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a very independent girl. Even when I was in like, my relationships, I always been like pretty independent. Shout out to my older sister, because she is the GOAT. One thing I want to say about her, I don't want to get off track, but like, I done watched her raise my niece up by herself. Um and she just did the damn thing. Like, she has inspired me so much. Like, if there was anybody who inspired me to really stay on my ship, and to work, and to not give up, and just rock out and do what the fuck you're supposed to do, is my older sister. So shout out to her. Shout out to Jen. I love you so much. But yeah, shout out to her. But yeah, so like, see, now I'm getting off track. But yeah, so what was I saying? So like, I'm always kind of like in super like independent mode, and I'm also learning that now I really actually don't want to be super independent, because it makes you like, always like, it's not like a super great state to be in. Like, it doesn't always feel good. But anyway, I feel like that started like triggering my anxiety a little bit. Like, just me being like the sole person. And then it was like, I got into this toxic relationship. And it was to a point where, I'm starting to do like a bunch of shit that I know I'm not supposed to be doing. Like, I'm partying all crazy. I'm staying up all night. I'm just wilding out pretty much on the weekends. This is like, my kids are with their dad on the weekends, so I'm just like doing whatever. And so I'm not taking care of my body. I'm not eating. I'm not, in a good mental state. Like, at this point, I'm in this toxic ass relationship, and it's kind of abusive, and it's like, all right, I'm trying to get out of the relationship. He ain't really trying to let me leave. Like, it would just get real weird. I'm like being manipulated. I was being manipulative towards him also, but it was really like, all right, once I kind of wanted to get out of it, it was like, I really couldn't, if that makes sense. Like, it was just getting real weird, like pop-ups, like tracking, like it was getting weird. That was like fucking with my anxiety, because it was just like, all right, I felt like I had to stay in this situation for my safety. Like, eventually, like, I felt like, all right, like, if I try to really like be out, like, boy gonna try to do something. But eventually I got out of that situation. But when I was in that situation, like, that really started fucking with my anxiety, and I didn't really realize it at the time, because I'm just like drinking, doing whatever. I'm not taking care of myself, but it was literally fucking with my brain. Like, I'm always on like go mode, or like, eventually, like, I started kind of like shutting down though, because I'm on like go mode, but I'm shutting down because I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm actually navigating. Like, I was going through so much all at once. It was just real weird. So like, my anxiety started to spiral, and I started getting like crazy like headaches, like real bad migraines, and I started to get like dizzy spells. And so I remember like having to go to the hospital a couple times, like me being at work, like asking them like, hey, can you take over? I'm not feeling good. I'm dizzy. I'm panicking. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. I'm just thinking like, is something wrong with me? Like, am I having a stroke? like, what the fuck is actually going on? And me and my friend, we got this joke. It's like, I gotta go to Mercy Suburban. That's one of the hospitals I went to. One of the hospitals I went to when I first had like my first anxiety attack. And I remember calling. I remember like I'm about to go to my one friend's son's birthday party. So my kids came home, and I just remember my heart started beating like super fast. And I'm like, oh shit, like I'm about to die. And then like I called the cops. I called the cops like, yeah, okay, you said an ambulance here. So they sent an ambulance, and then like they check my vitals and stuff. They're like, okay, you're fine, whatever. So then, like, as they're leaving, my heart starts beating fast again. I'm panicking again, and I'm like, no, like, I'm really about to die. So I'm like, wait, come back. I'm like, wait, come back. So then I like called them back to like come take me to the hospital. That shit was so embarrassing, but it was so like so true. I didn't know at the time I was just having anxiety. I didn't know what was going on. I just thought it had to be something wrong with me. Like this shit kept happening. And you know, I think eventually I realized like I had some type of reaction. I don't know if it's just my mind. It was like when I was taking ibuprofen and when I was taking other medicines, like that shit would like trigger me to go into an anxiety attack too. Like I didn't realize because I was having migraines for a while and I was just like taking a lot of ibuprofen. I didn't know if that had something to do with it. But then like after I stopped taking the ibuprofen, I was still having anxiety attacks sometimes. So it was like, I don't really know like what the actual cause of it besides like me really having anxiety. But yeah, so like eventually, you know, after I got out of my relationship and after, you know, I started to just, you know, get back into like trying to heal because I was just not in a good space, period. So I started like trying to heal. I would, you know, just take time journaling, um, getting by myself and just writing down what I was struggling with and just trying to figure it out. But it was hard. It was hard because I was still like worried. And then at some point, like, yeah, like a year later, my kid's dad, he got deployed. And then that kind of triggered my anxiety too because I'm like, damn, like now I'm really like by myself. Like, this man is all the way overseas. God forbid something happens and that like had me by myself. So I'm like really like kind of like panicking because I'm like, damn, like now if something happens, it's just me over here. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like I got my family and stuff like that, but it's just like that just had me like, I don't know. I was just having like a lot of stuff going on and I didn't know how to process my anxiety and shit was just getting bad. And I'm like at the hospital all the time. I'm like freaking out and shit. Even like a couple of times, like my kids, like they done see me like have an anxiety attack, and that shit is like so embarrassing because I feel like it was not embarrassing, but it's like just to have them like feel unsafety or like have them not know what's going on with their mom. It's like, damn. So like I hated being in that state, and so I had to figure it out. Like I had to figure out like, well, what's wrong with me? Because I keep going to the hospital. They doing blood work. They did a CT scan. They saying, Jazz, ain't shit wrong with you. Like you probably got anxiety. So I started to, you know, like having to get my shit together because I realized like I wasn't taking care of myself. I'm not listening to my body. First off, I was in this relationship. I'm literally ignoring all the signs. Like I'm not eating. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm partying all the time. You can feel like, you know, when you in a environment and you like, damn, like I shouldn't be here. Like that's how I was feeling every day. Like I shouldn't be here. And you know, it's like when you keep going against your body and when you feel unsafe, your nervous system is like going in a fucking spiral. And I'm in like freeze mode, but I'm panicking. And it's just like it was just a lot. Like I was literally fighting a war in my head. And so, you know, I started to be mindful of what the fuck I had going on. Like switching my environments up, like doing stuff that was going to be beneficial to me. Like I started to go to yoga, and I started to meditate. I started to journal, like just doing things that were like safe for me, going to safe places, going where I felt safe, like um hiking. Hiking like makes me feel like grounded, like being in nature, and just doing things that made me feel relaxed, not always being in spaces that I gotta watch my back. You know what I mean? Like going to environments where I know, like, like I'm really not supposed to be here. Like this shit really ain't good for me. Um, Backing away from those spaces, because it's not just overnight. Like I couldn't just back away like that. But slowly backing away from those spaces really started to heal me, because I wasn't going against my intuition no more. I'm not ignoring my gut feeling. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I don't think I should go there. I'm gonna pass. Like being able to pass, because like when your friends want to be out, you're like, all right, we gonna go, whatever. But it's like, nah, like if you got that feeling, you know how many times females that got caught up in some shit being at the wrong place at the wrong time. We gotta really listen to our intuition. Like your gut is telling you that situation not for you for a reason. You're not supposed to be there for a reason. Get the fuck out. Like we gotta listen, and when we don't, it's like we go against ourselves, and our nervous system really spirals. And especially when you're not taking care of yourself, it gets really bad. So yeah, so like me getting out of spaces, and I really feel like drinking. Like I feel like that shit's fucking with my head. Like I like to drink, and like y'all know right now I'm on my little break. But I think I was just doing too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're dehydrated, you have like a lack of sleep. All that shit fucks with your brain. And I've been drinking since I was like 14 years old. Like I wasn't an everyday drinker, but like, once you get over like us, like once you get in your late 20s, you can't handle your liquor like you used to. So it's like, people get anxiety, like, the day after you drink it. It's because your body, your brain's like, bitch, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like, so every weekend, like, I'm going super hard. I'm not drinking like little drinks. I'm drinking like a bottle with my people. You know what I mean? Like, we are going hard. Like, and so the effects that shit has on your brain, that shit ain't no joke. Like me falling back from like, and like one thing that helped me too, like with like my work environment, was not going out, not partying on Sundays. Like I work in the healthcare field, so it's like being alert is so important at work. And so like if you're going to work tired the next day, you are not gonna feel good. Like you're gonna feel like, what the F? You know what I mean? Like you don't want to go to work with no headache. You don't want to go to work feeling like you can't be on your toes. Like that's something you do when you like in your early 20s, all that stuff. Like I couldn't function like that. So, I had that was one of my rules. Like I'm not drinking on a Sunday night. I'm not going out on a Sunday night. So many times, so many of my friends, they be inviting me to these dope ass events on a Sunday. And you know what? I might be able to start going now because, I'm not really drinking. So maybe it was just like the whole drinking thing. But I also don't want to be up late on a Sunday because I got to go to work tomorrow, whatever. I got kids. But anyway, it's like, I just made that like a rule for me. Like I'm not partying on a Sunday. So I feel like that helps me out. But like, just listening to my body, listening to myself, not ignoring the red flags. Cause like I'm well, not now, but I was still ignoring red flags. Even after I got out of my toxic situation, I was still, fucking with people that I shouldn't have been fucking with. I was doing dumb shit, you know what I mean? Like I'm healing, but I'm still doubling back. I'm still backtracking. I'm doing shit that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And it takes time, you know what I mean? We don't just change overnight. I'm still not perfect, but I've been making better choices and just, being intentional with myself and giving myself time, you know what I mean? Like when you are in an active like anxiety attack, a panic attack. Like I think some of the things like that helped me was just like grounding myself, like, you know, planting my feet on the floor, like putting cold water on my face, like things that are going to like help you recognize like you're safe right now. Because when you are in an active panic attack, it's hard and it's scary. Like you feel like you're out of control. You feel like you're about to die. But you're not gonna die. Like that's one of the things I used to tell myself. Like even now, like I'm not even gonna like lie to y'all. Like I never have anxiety because sometimes I still do. But you know, what I kind of tell myself, like sometimes, like if you was gonna die, you would already did. You know what I mean? Like you're safe. You are safe, and you serve a big God. I serve a big God. You know what I mean? Like my God is powerful, and all of that was just in my head. You know what I mean? It was just I was unsafe, and my nervous system was dysregulated, and I didn't know how to handle what was going on. And I was going against myself. You know what I mean? I'm not listening to my body. I'm not listening to my intuition. And I didn't have the faith that I needed. And I think it was Charlemagne. I went to this mental health convention. He said, faith cannot coexist with fear. And it's like, God ain't gonna put you in no weird ass situations. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, health issues are real. And yes, that stuff is real. But when, like, when you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we don't know at first, but, like, eventually, like, I knew, like, all right, I went to the doctor. They say nothing's wrong with me, but I'm still having these anxiety attacks. Something gotta be wrong. But it's like, no, like, just know that God got you. You know what I mean? Like, whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen. But right now, you are safe. You know what I mean? You are safe. God got you. And we just got to remember that. We just got to remember, because our minds will play tricks on us. Our minds will have us thinking like this is it. But it's not. Like, we gotta regulate. We gotta regulate what's going on. It's like, stop going against yourself. Stop, putting yourself in positions you're not supposed to be at, because it just kind of like fuels the fire. The more you put yourself in these weird ass situations, the more you're not taking care of yourself. Like, when you start taking care of yourself, you're gonna feel better. Your mind's more clear. You're able to think. You're able to make rational decisions. You know what I mean? Like, you're not moving off of impulse. And so it regulates. It regulates your nervous system. It regulates, your idea of what is normal, what is not normal. Anxiety ain't normal. You're not supposed to be on edge all the time. You know what I mean? But you just gotta take shit slow. Take it one day at a time and just listen to your intuition. Your gut tells you immediately, this is safe for me, this is not safe for me. You know, you gotta just listen. You gotta listen to your heart. You gotta listen to your mind. You gotta listen to your gut. And when you don't listen, that's what you're telling yourself, like, I don't trust myself. And when you don't trust yourself, that's when things start to spiral. Because, like, damn, like, I don't trust myself to know what's going on with me. And sometimes when you're new in anxiety, and when you're new in, just having feelings that you never felt before, it's scary. But pray. God got you. You know what I mean? Like, we can get delivered from anything. God has us. He has the power, and he has given us power to have control of ourselves. But it's like, we have to be able to take control, and sometimes, make different choices. It's okay to get out of that environment you always been in. For your mental, for your safety, it's okay. Get out of that situation. Ladies, don't stay in those situations that isn't safe for you. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody put their hands on you once, they will put their hands on you again. Like, do not put yourself in no scary situation. And please, I wanted to say this. This is like off topic, but like, let's not include our family and friends in any violent situations, okay? I done experienced that, you know what I mean? Like, I done seen people lose people from bystanders getting involved with violent situations, domestics. You never know, number one, you never know when somebody got a gun. You never know, like, what mental state another person's in. You never know, you know what I mean? Like, if you are in an abusive relationship, call the cops. Like, I know we all, like, so, like, anti, like, ratting and all that, but, like, no, like, if you are, get a PFA, get whatever you need to get for your safety, and you get the fuck up out of that situation. But you gotta love yourself enough to get out. You gotta love yourself enough and trust God enough to know, like, he's going to get you out of that situation. And you have to actively move, but do not bring nobody into any situation that can harm them. It's not fair to them. Like, I don't care if your big brother is the toughest, okay? Because you're that gun. You know what I mean? Like, so many people have lost people on the hands of, like, gun violence and domestic violence. Do not bring nobody in no situation, period. I don't care how tough they are. I don't care how big they are. Like, yeah, like, you know, your family wants to rock out for you. You know, it's nothing wrong with wanting to be protected. But just don't put nobody in a situation that could harm them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that regret, you're not going to be able to live with that. So please, like, don't put anybody in that situation. If you're feeling unsafe, or you're feeling like, you know, like, you got to get out of a situation, get a PFA, move, go to a shelter. There's resources out here. Do not sit in no violence. And even if you can't do it for yourself, because sometimes you probably don't love yourself enough to move, which is why you keep staying. And I know sometimes it is fear. Like I told y'all, like, I was, like, when I was in my situation, it was like in the beginning it was great, you know what I mean? Like, it was all love. But, like, towards the end, like, when I was actively trying to get out of the situation, I was scared, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, like, maybe I should just not leave him so he don't, like, wild out and stuff like that. But, like, eventually I'm like, I can't live like this. And first off, like, I don't want my kids to ever see their mom, you know, like, on guard like this. Like, I want them to see me at peace, and I don't want to, you know, bring this type of life to them. Like I told y'all, like, I seen my mom and dad go through that shit. Like, I wasn't going to deal with that. So when I was with my ex, like, I had, like, when, like, eventually, like, I got a PFA, because I'm like, I didn't want to really involve nobody else, because I'm like, God forbid something happen, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And I did feel bad. I felt bad for getting a PFA. But I feel like that's what I had to do at the time. Like, I didn't feel safe. Sometimes we have to make decisions that are best for us, you know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, even though you might not think somebody's a bad person, you know what I mean? Like, people go through their mental health stuff. You don't have to deal with nothing, and you don't have to give nobody no chances to keep harming you. You don't have to give nobody chances to put you in any bad position, okay? But yeah, like, don't feel responsible for anybody else. Like, if your health, if your mental, if your well-being is not in a good space, leave. Do what you have to do. You got to be selfish sometimes. And even if you know somebody's like, even if you don't think somebody's a bad person, even if you think, you know, that that's just something they're dealing with, still put yourself first. Put those kids first. Put those babies first, okay? You have to make sacrifices, and you have to put you and your kids first before anybody. Don't be afraid to make the move, ladies. Like, if there's anything you're going through, please don't be afraid to reach out, get help. There's resources out there. There's help. You don't have to feel embarrassed. People are going through this shit all the time, but don't put yourself at risk. People really be dying. Like, people really have died because they had like a crazy ex, or, you know, whatever. Like, we see this shit on the news and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, don't put yourself in that situation. If you feel unsafe, if you feel like, you know, it's not good for your mental, whatever it is, get out. If you can, reach out to somebody. Do whatever you can for your safety and for your mental. But yeah, y'all, like, don't ignore your intuition. Don't ignore anything. You know what I mean? Like, your mind, your gut is all telling you this for a reason. Like, we have to listen. Like, if you want to do better in life, because some people are just so used to chaos, we're addicted to chaos, that we just kind of like sit there. Like, but if you want to live a life of peace, like, I remember just praying for God, like, I just want peace. Like, I want to be at peace. I don't want to, you know, be looking out my window and seeing if somebody's popping up to my house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember just praying, like, I just want peace. And sometimes now I be bored as fuck. I be bored. But I be thinking like, damn, this is peace. You got your peace. You're chilling. You know what I mean? You ain't worried. Like, you walk outside freely. You do whatever you want freely. You don't have to answer to nobody. You don't have to try to make any moves around anybody. Like, this is peace. Like, my prayers were answered. And that's what I'm saying. Like, pray to God. God is going to give you exactly what you need. Don't be afraid to reach out to your God, your creator, and keep your faith. And that's going to help you. That's going to help your anxiety. Trusting in God is going to help your anxiety, sis. Trust me. God is big. We serve a big God. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing. There's nothing that God is going to give us that we can't handle. But we got to have faith. We got to have faith in God. We got to have faith in ourselves. And once we know something, we got to act on it. You know what I mean? Like, when you keep getting those signs, when you keep getting those, you know, premonitions of what the fuck you're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? You keep ignoring it, you're going against yourself. And that's when your anxiety is going to spiral. It's like, listen, my body's telling me over and over that this is not for me, but I'm going to keep doing it over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, get in a peaceful environment. Get around things that are going to help you, not hurt you. Get around people who are going to make you feel safe, who allow you to be your true, authentic self. Journal. Talk about what is going on. Go to therapy. Reach out. Go to events. There's so much free stuff. I know people don't have money for everything, but there's free events, there's free yoga, there's free mental health stuff, there's free things all over the place. There's resources, there's shelters, there's places that you can go, you know, if you need to. Like, use your resources. Get in environments where you want to be at. Listen to your body. Start taking care of yourself. Fall back from the drinking. Fall back from the drugs. I'm telling y'all. The shit, like, I know, like, it can be fun, but, like, that shit fucks with our brains. Even the fucking vapes, like, that shit fucks with us. We don't realize it, but all of that shit is playing with the chemicals in our brain. You know what I mean? Then we wonder why we're depressed. We wonder why we're anxious. It's because, you know, we're not getting adequate sleep. You know, we're just all over the place. Our freaking hard drive is just like going crazy. We got to take care of ourselves and just listen to what our bodies are telling us to do, and listen to what God is telling us to do. We have to open our eyes and just get in tune with ourselves, following what it is that we are supposed to be doing. But yeah, so if anybody is dealing with any anxiety, don't be afraid to reach out to anybody. Please reach out to me. If I can help anybody get out of a situation, talk to somebody about whatever it is that you're going through, I will talk to y'all. You know what I mean? Like, this is why I'm doing this podcast, because, like, life is really real. And when you're in that situation, you be so scared. You're like, bro, like, I was dealing with dizziness all the fucking time. Like, God, please, like, take this away from me. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, what is going on with me? Like, I just want to live a normal life. I just want to be normal. Like, I didn't feel normal. Like, just last year was like the last time I had an anxiety attack. And I remember going to the hospital and like having my coworker like help me. And I just felt like so embarrassed. But it was like, because at the time, like, yeah, I was doing a lot of healing and stuff, but I was still going against my gut, and I was still doing shit that I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing, and I was still putting myself in weird situations that I wasn't supposed to be in. And I feel like me also, I wasn't taking care of myself, and I feel like that was just contributing. So it was like I was doing better, but I was still going into those states of panic sometimes when I would get outside of myself and when, you know, I stopped taking care of myself like I should. So y'all, please, you know, reach out if you need any assistance, if you need any help. I will help y'all find the resources. Please don't be embarrassed to, you know, reach out. Reach out to anybody you might feel comfortable with. Your state, your town, you know, your city, wherever you live at, has resources. All these places, they get paid to help you. Please reach out. Please get some help. And don't ever think that you're by yourself, because you're not. Everybody is going through some life shit, believe me. But yeah, so I'm sending you guys all my love deeply. Like, I know it's a lot of people going through shit, so I'm sending my love to you. And just remember, like, we are the creators of our story. We can change the narrative at any time. Like, yeah, you might have came from a certain background. You might have came from a toxic situation. You might have came from insecurities, and you might have not had a lot of self-esteem, but you can end up being the baddest bitch. You can end up being the richest. You can end up being in love. You can end up being cherished. You know what I mean? You can end up living the life that you deserve. You can be out here seeing the world. There's a whole life that you can create, but you just have to know that you are the writer and that you have the ability to make those changes. It is never too late to switch the narrative. Never too late to, you know, shift your mindset, heal your heart, and live the life that you desire. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, please like, share this, and subscribe. Make sure y'all grab y'all find on the inside journals. And also, I am dropping the shirts. The shirts are actually dropped. Actually, I don't have on one now, but next pod I am going to be wearing mine, because my shipment is actually on its way. So yeah, make sure y'all can only get it on Etsy right now, but go to Etsy, type in Find on the Inside, and the shop will pop up. There's 4 shirts that I custom made. Please grab them, y'all. I really like took my time, and you know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It would be so cute to see y'all wearing them. And I think y'all will really like them. So make sure y'all grab y'all shirts. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much. And I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and a great life. I love you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in.